morning.
Hedda, good heavens, are you up so early, dear, eh?
Yes, I'm up very early this morning.
Well, and I never doubted you'd be still sound asleep, eh?
Don't speak so loudly. Mrs. Elliston is resting under my roof.
She's been here all right, eh?
Well, certainly, but no one came to see that home.
To be sure, eh?
Well, did you enjoy yourselves at Judge Brown's then?
Have you been anxious about me, dear, eh?
I should never think of being anxious. I asked you if you had enjoyed yourself.
Oh, yes, for once in a way, especially at the beginning of the evening for I'm reading part of his book, you see.
Well, tell me.
Oh, dear, you can't conceive what a book this is going to be. I believe it to be one of the most remarkable things that have ever been written.
Yes.
Fancy that, eh?
Yes.
Well, you see, but when I finished reading, I had a feeling.
A horrid feeling?
Yes, I felt jealous about it for having had it in him to write such a book.
I am thinking.
And then how pitiful to think that he, with all his gifts, should be irreclaimable after all, eh?
What came of it all in the end?
Well, to tell the truth, I think it might be best described as an orgy, Hedda.
Had he vine leaves in his hair?
Fine. No, I didn't see anything of the sort here, but he did make a long rambling speech about some woman who'd inspired him in his work.
Where did you part from him then?
Oh, on the way to town, we decided to take him home. We had far more that was good for him.
Yes, I dare say.
Yes, now comes a strange part of it, or should I rather say the melancholy part. I'm almost ashamed of my honest account to tell you.
Well, what is it?
Well, you see, as I was nearing town, I happened to drop back a little behind the others, only for a moment.
Yes.
And then as I hurried after them, what do you think I found by the wayside, eh?
How should I know?
Well, you mustn't tell a soul, Hedda, dear, eh? Yeah, for argument's sake, yeah? See, I found this. It's the whole of his precious, irreplaceable manuscript, and he's gone and lost it, and knew nothing of it. So deplorable.
Why did you not give it back to him at once?
Oh, I didn't dare to in the state he was in.
Did you tell anyone else that you had it?
No, you must understand, for argument's sake, I wouldn't do that.
Then nobody knows that I left Longbourn's manuscript is in your possession?
No, and nobody must know it either.
Then what did you say to him afterwards?
Well, I didn't see him again at all, you see, dear. For when we got in amongst the streets, he and 2 or 3 of the others gave us a slip and disappeared.
Well, they must have taken him home.
Well, yes, I would presume so.
So, what have you been doing with yourself since then?
Well, I and some of the others went home to one of the party, a jolly fellow, and took our morning coffee with him, or should I rather say, a night coffee, dear. But once I've rested a little and had some time to have a sleep out, I must take this back.
Let me read it first.
No, Hedda, dear, I mustn't. I really mustn't.
You must not.
No, Hedda, but the thing is, when he wakes and misses the manuscript, he has no copy of it. He told me so himself, you see.
How could such a thing not be reproduced?
Well, no. For inspiration, you see.
I suppose, yes, it does depend on that. By the by, a letter has arrived for you.
Oh, indeed. Oh, it's from Aunt Julia. Oh, Hedda, dear, she says the poor Aunt Rena is dying.
Well, we were prepared for that.
And that if I want to see her again, I'll make haste. I'll run to them at once.
Will you run?
Yes, dear. Oh, if you could only make up your mind to come with me, eh?
No, do not ask that of me, George. You
Oh, but I
don't
think
let me look on sickness or death. I loathe all sorts of ugliness.
Oh, well then, my hat and my coat and the hallway. Oh, I hope I mayn't be too late, dear, eh?
Well, if you run.
Judge Bright is at the door and wishes to know if he may come in.
Well, I can't possibly see him at this point in time.
But I can. Ask the judge to come in.
Yes, ma'am.
The manuscript.
Yes, give it to me, Hedda.
No, I shall keep it safe until you come back. Well, you are an early bird, I must say.
Yes, don't you think so? You want to move too?
Yes, Judge. My poor Aunt Rena's at death's door, you see, eh?
No, I can't. Let me detain you.
Yes, I really must rush, eh? Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I hear that you made a particularly lively night of it at your rooms, Judge Brack.
I can assure you I've not had my clothes off, Mrs. Hedda. But what has Tesman been telling you of the night's adventures?
Oh, some tiresome story about having coffee somewhere.
Oh, I've heard about that coffee party. party already. Islet Lovborg was not with them, I fancy.
No, they had taken him home before then.
Tesman had.
Some of the others, he said.
George Tesman really is a slow creature sometimes.
Oh yes, I dare say that he is. Is there something more to it then?
Perhaps there may be. Do you know where Islet Lovborg and some of the others finished the evening?
If it is not entirely unmentionable,
Oh,
do
it's
tell me.
not at all unmentionable. Well, they put in an appearance at a particularly animated soiree.
Well, tell me more.
Islet Lovborg had been invited in advance. I knew of this already, of course. But he had declined the invitation. For now, as you know, he has become a new man.
Oh, it's the Ulstons, yes.
He decided to go anyway, unfortunately. Unhappily, the spirit moved him at my rooms.
Yes, I heard that he found inspiration.
Pretty violent inspiration. I fancy that altered his purpose somewhat, but we men folk are not always so steadfast in our beliefs as we ought to be.
I am sure that you are the exception. Islet Lovborg?
Well, to cut a long story short, he ended up at Mademoiselle Diana's rooms.
Mademoiselle Diana's. Is she a red-haired woman, some sort of singer?
Yes, in her leisure moments, but moreover a mighty huntress of men, Mrs. Hedda. No doubt you have heard of her.
And how did all this end?
Far from amicably, it would appear. After a most tender meeting, they appear to have come to blows.
Lovborg?
Yes, he accused her or her friends of having robbed him.
But what came of it all?
Came to a general scrimmage in which the ladies as well as the gentlemen took part. Eventually the police at last arrived on the scene.
The police?
Yes, I fancy it will prove a costly frolic for Islet Lovborg.
How so?
He seems to have made a violent resistance, to have hit one of the constables on the head and torn the coat off his back. Eventually they had to march him down to the station with the rest of them.
How have you learned all of this?
From the police themselves.
Then that is what happened. And he had no vine leaves in his hair then.
Vine leaves?
Tell me, why have you been tracking out Islet Lovborg's movements so precisely?
I simply thought that as a trusted friend of the family, it was my duty to supply you and Tesman with a full account of his nocturnal exploits.
How so?
Well, frankly, I believe that he intends to use you as some sort of blind.
Oh, but that is ridiculous. How can you say that?
Come, come, Mrs. Hedda, we have eyes in our head. Mark my words, this Mrs. Elvston is not going to want to leave town again.
Well, even if there should be something between them, I don't see why. There are not plenty of other houses that they could meet at.
Not a single home. Henceforth, as before, every respectable house is to be closed against Islet Lovborg.
And so ought mine to be. Is that what you mean?
Yes. Well, I must admit, it would prove more than distasteful to me if this personage were to be made free of your house. How intrusive he would be if he was to try to force his way
Into the triangle.
Precisely. I would simply find myself homeless.
So you mean to be the one cock in the basket. Is that your aim?
Yes, that is my aim. For that I will fight with every weapon I command.
I see you are a dangerous person when it comes to the point.
Do you think so?
I am beginning to think so. And I am very glad to think that you have no sort of hold over me.
Perhaps you're right there. After all, if I did, who knows what I might be capable of.
Come, Judge Brack, that sounded almost like a threat.
Oh, not at all. The triangle, if possible, always ought to be spontaneously constructed.
Well, there we agree.
I've said all I have to say and it's better be getting back to town. Good day, Mrs. Hedda.
Are you going through the garden?
Yes, it's a shortcut for me.
And then it is a back way, too.
Quite so. I have no objection to back ways. They may be kind enough at times.
When there is ball practice going on, do you mean?
Oh, people don't shoot their tame poultry, I fancy.
Oh no, not when there is only one cock in the basket.
Oh, no. You must not let
And I tell you, I must and will come.
Mr. Lovborg, stop.
Well, this is rather a late hour to call on Tia, Mr. Lovborg.
You mean rather an early hour to call on you?
How do you know she's still here?
They told me at her lodging that she'd been out all night.
And did you notice anything about the people of the house when they said that?
Notice anything about them?
I mean, did they seem to think it odd?
I see I'm dragging her down with me, wherever I did not notice anything. I suppose Tesman is not to be it.
Oh, Lovborg at last.
At last and too late.
Why is it too late?
Everything is too late. It is all over with me now.
No, don't say that.
Perhaps suppose you two should like to speak alone.
No, stay, please, I beg you to stay.
Yes, but I won't hear anything, I tell you.
It is not last night's adventures that I want to talk about.
Oh, what is it then?
I want to tell you now that our ways must part.
Not.
You can be of no more service to me, Taya.
No more service to you. How can you stand there and say that? Am I not to help you now as before? Are we not to go and working together?
Henceforward I shall do no work.
Then what am I to do with my life?
You must try to live it as if you had never known me. You must go home again.
Never! Never in this world! Where you are, there will I be also. I will not let myself be driven away like this. I will remain here. I will be with you when the book appears. I must see with my own eyes how respect and honor pour in upon you. I must share it with you.
Taya, our book will never appear!
Never appear.
Can it never appear?
Oh, what have you done with the manuscript?
Yes, the manuscript.
The manuscript? Well, I've torn the manuscript into 1,000 pieces.
Oh, God. Torn his work to pieces. Hedda.
I have torn my own life to pieces, so why should I not tear my life work too? Tore it into 1,000 pieces and scattered them on the river. Let them drift upon it, and then presently they will sink, deeper and deeper as I shall, Taya.
Do you know that what you have done? I shall think of it to my dying day as though you had killed a little child.
It's your right, it's a sort of child.
How could you then? Did not the child belong to me too? It's all over. Hedda, now I will go.
But where will you go?
I don't know. I see nothing but darkness before me.
Are you not going to see her home, Mr. Lothar?
Through the streets, would you have people see me walking with her?
Well, I don't know what else might have happened. But is it also irretrievable as that?
It will not end with last night. I know that perfectly well, and the thing is I have no sort of taste for that life either. She has broken my courage.
So that little fool has had her fingers in a man's destiny. But all the same, how could you be so heartless to her?
Don't say that I was heartless.
You do not think it heartless to go and destroy what has filled her whole soul for months and years?
To you I can tell the truth, Hedda.
The truth
Yes, what I just said now was untrue.
about the manuscript.
Yes, I have not torn it to pieces, nor thrown it into the river.
No, but where is it then?
I have destroyed it nonetheless, Hedda, utterly destroyed it.
I do not understand.
Taya said that what I had done seemed to her to be a kind of child murder.
Yes, so she said.
But to kill his own child is not the worst thing a father can do to it.
What?
Suppose now that a man in the early hours of the morning came home to his child's mother after a night of riot and debauchery and said, "Listen, I have been here and there in this place and in that, and I have taken our child with to this place and to that, and I have lost the child, utterly lost it. The devil knows into whose hands it may have fallen, who might have their clutches on it."
But when all is said and done, it's only a book.
Taya's pure soul was in that book.
Yes, so I understand.
She must understand too that for her and me no future is possible.
Then what path do you mean to take?
None. I will only try to make an end of it. The sooner the better.
I like love. Promise me something. Promise me that you will do it beautifully.
Beautifully. With vine leaves in my hair as I used to dream of in the old days.
No, I have lost my faith in those vine leaves. But beautifully, nonetheless. Now you must go. And do not come back here again.
Goodbye, Mrs. Testman. And give George Testman my love.
Wait! I must give you a memento.
This is the memento?
Do you recognize it? It was aimed at you once.
You should have used it then.
Then use it now. And beautifully, I must love.
Goodbye, Hedda Gabler.
here.
I am burning your child, dear. Your child and Isla Longboard's child. Burning it